Hey y'all, so I am back with another video, and in this one I am going to be doing a Halloween set. I know we're edging towards the end of October, but it's never too late to start uploading these videos. So towards the end of the year, I have to say is my favorite time for doing nails. You have Halloween, and then you have fall, and then Christmas. And I feel like people tend to be more creative and do more when it comes to those holidays. I don't know why, but there's more glitter, there's more design, there's more length, all the good stuff. So I love this time of year. Now, to start off this set, I have already soaked down her previous set, so that's why you still see some of that red acrylic on her nails. I've said it before, you don't have to get every single thing off. You just want to file down to a thin layer. So I've already pushed back her eponychium. Now I'm coming in with my cuticle bit, and I'm using it in reverse and just going around the back of her nail, trying to get any of that dead skin off that is attached to the nail plate. Once I have that done, I'm going to come in with my sanding band, and I'm going to start etching that little back of her nail that is revealed that has no acrylic on there. And I'm also going to flush the remaining acrylic to her natural nail plate. Now, as I was doing this, I realized this file was just too soft. It was not getting the job done. So I just quickly took it off, and I put on a white sanding band, a zebra, which is a little bit more coarser than this one. That one is really soft. So that white one really gets in there and just takes up any lifting acrylic that needs to come off. So once I have all of my prep done, I'm going to go right into design. Of course, before this, I cleansed the nail with alcohol, used dehydrator, and also primed. So now I'm coming in with my nude color, and this one is from Mia's Secret, and I'm just starting with one bead at the center of the nail, and I'm just going to start walking this down, making sure that I'm really focusing on the sides. I do not want any bulky sides, and this is how you keep that from happening. When you're doing your application, you keep it clean. That really helps when it comes to filing and getting the shape that you want. So once I bring that bead fully down towards the tip, now I'm just making sure that I'm going to smooth it out on the top. I'm also going to, like I said, tuck in the sides, and I'm really going to start giving it shape. I'm molding this acrylic to the tip that I've already shaped. So that's why you see me really taking my brush, smoothing it out, and then once I smooth it out, I go back over it to the sides and make sure those are in. It's all about just keeping that acrylic where you want it. So once I have that done, I'm going to come in with a second bead, and I'm going to place that right on top of my first bead, and I'm pretty much going to do the same thing, except I'm not, of course, going to bring this bead all the way down. I'm going to keep it kind of in the center, and then once I walk it down as far as I want it, then I'll just blend that through the first bead. Now this second bead is solely to start my apex. I want to make sure that I have all of the strength there in the center, and that's going to help so these nails won't break right there where your natural nail meets your fake tip. So once I have that one blended, I'm going to come in with my final bead, which is my third bead. I'm going to place that at the back of the nail, push it up into your cuticle area, and then I'm going to just blend that through. So for my ring finger, I was kind of having some difficulty because the design that we were going for required a clear nail. Now I was able to get most of that acrylic off, but it still wasn't clear enough for me. So at this point, I'm just going to lay some nude there where her natural nail is showing, and then I'm going to come in and fill in that tip area. But the first thing I'm going to do is just, like I said, apply that bead, walk it down, and then blend it through, but not all the way up the tip. I want you to see some of that clear still showing. Now I'm going to jump to the middle finger, and for this one I'm going to be doing a French. So I'm taking a medium-sized bead and I'm just going to place it at the back of the nail, starting closer to that cuticle area, and I'm going to point her finger all the way down, and I'm just going to start walking it down. Now once I have the bead down where I want it to be, then I'm going to start molding it pretty much into a almond shape. Here lately I have been changing it up how I do my Frenches. I do them all different kinds of ways. I guess it just depends on what mood I'm in. But here lately, this is how I've been doing it. I have been trying to stay away from building it up so much because I realized that during my filing, I was having to file more when it came to my French. So I'm starting with the one bead, walking it down. Here you see me now. I'm really molding it into that almond shape. I'm going in where her natural sidewalls are, and that's where I'm tucking in my brush and just creating that point up there and then rounding it off. And I'm being really, I guess, careful about how I mold this, because when I come in and file it, which I always do, I always want to make sure that I have this sharp. I just don't want to do a whole lot of filing. Now I'm coming in with my second bead, and this is the only bead that I'm going to add to this. It's a medium-sized bead, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply it back there at the cuticle area, and then I'm really going to hold it there. I'm going to pretty much build up that bead. I'm going to create thickness right there where I want it to be, and then when it comes closer to the almond point, that's where I'm going just to blend it through. Like I said, I'm trying to avoid making this part so thick, so that's why I'm only going to use the two beads. Okay, so back to my ring finger. I decided that I was just going to add glitter to those tips, and this is just a reflective black glitter. So I'm going to pretty much double dip. I'm going to take my brush, dip it into some clear, and then I'm going to dip it into the glitter and then apply it to the nail. Now this loose reflective glitter, it's kind of not easy to work like this, because I don't know if it's the chunkiness of it. It's fine, but then it's chunky, you know what I'm saying? And those little grainy bits don't want to blend very well. I guess that's what makes it difficult, but you just need to make sure that you keep going over it if you need to and just blend it very well. I'm also adding this onto the thumb, and as you can see too, I also did a full nude on that pointer finger. So now I'm going to cap those glitter nails, and capping is just like applying your normal application. The only thing is when you're doing a design layer like this, you want to make sure that your design, your first layer, is thin, and so that way when you come in, you're not adding too much when you apply that acrylic. So I'm coming in with one bead, applying that at the center of the nail, walking it down, and I'm pretty much allowing this clear just to flow over that acrylic, because I don't want any air bubbles to start popping up and make this application cloudy. So that's why you just see me pointing her finger down and kind of allowing it to just fall down towards that tip, Once I have it molded where I want it, then I'm going to come in with just one more small bead just to apply at the back to just blend all of that through. So now I have already filed that French into shape, and now I'm going to fill it in with just some black. So I'm starting at the tip, and I'm really just going to try to push this product back up into that nail. So those sides that I've built up, I want to be able to push that acrylic right up against it and then smooth it out and form it to my tip pretty much. Now this black that I'm using, I want to say it's from Creation, but I may not be for sure. But it's messy, it's not drying fast, it's just a typical black. Okay, so I'm being really like patient with it, trying to wait on it to dry, form it onto that tip, pushing it back up, getting it into shape. Just really going through it pretty much with this black. That's what I'm doing. But I'm just going to, like I said, get it where I need it to be. The most important thing is not to bulk up my sides. And also, I'm going to file this when I come in and do my finish filing, but I don't want to do a lot of filing. So that's why you see me taking most of that black off of my nude nail bed that I've created. If a little bit gets on there, that's fine, a little bit of residue, but I don't want to completely just cover up all of that nude. I want to try to keep this as clean as I can. Alright, so here are all of the nails just done with my application, and then I went ahead and finish filed, and here they are ready for design. So for my design, I'm going to start off by apologizing, y'all. My head was in the way of most of this part. I was really focused on getting this nail art right, okay? So if some parts are missing or you see some bits of my head, just don't even pay attention to it, okay? I was going through it. But back to this nail, you see I started with some dots on that pinky, and I'm just going to make some little ghosts. So I'm taking my striper brush, and I don't have a lot of product on that striper brush. I'm just using my dot, and I'm going to just drag that and bring it down and kind of give it a little swoosh. And that's pretty much all you need for a ghost. So I'm going to do that on the first one, and then I'm going to do that on this little bottom one also. And also on this same nail, I'm going to be doing some other little art. So I'm going to make some of those little twinkle stars. So once I get done with my little ghost, I'm going to come back in with my dotting tool, and I'm just going to take some black, and I'm going to start with a small dot first, and then once I have that done, I'll come back in with my striper brush, and I'll just pretty much make the cross starting from that dot. You want to be really careful when you're using your striper brush to do this. You want to use very, very light pressure to bring out those little crosses. So now I'm jumping to the other hand, and on this one, instead of the ghost, I'm going to be doing some drips. So I'm taking my dotting tool, and I'm going to start with my little dots, and then I'll just take my striper brush, and beginning from those dots, I'm going to create my line going up, and then I'll just fill in the back area. So for my French nails, I'm going to be doing a outline around those Frenches. So I'm taking my striper brush with my paint gel in white, and I'm just going to follow that outline that I have already created. Now, once I have my outline made, I'm going to cure this for 60 seconds, and then I'm going to add some little stitches. And I'm just making some straight lines, and then I'll do a couple of X's, and that'll create those little stitches. I love this design. When I see French nails and they have the little stitches, I love them. So back to my little ghost, this is where I'm filling in their little eyes, and I'm just using a very tiny dotting tool. So I just gave him 2 eyes and then a little dot for his nose. Now on the opposite hand, I'm doing a spider web. Now this one you really can't see, but I went in and I first started out by making my lines, my initial first lines that are coming out, and then I cured them, and now I'm coming back, and this is where I'm adding like the web. So here on this one, I'm going to be doing a pumpkin, and I'm going to start with my outline first. So I'm taking that white paint gel, and I'm just going to pretty much start off like a heart, if I was making a heart on the end of that tip, and then I'm going to fill that in, and then I'm going to cure that. And that is one thing I can say about nail art. Once you have something down and you got it perfect, go ahead and cure it and make sure that you're not going to mess that up. So once that came out of the lamp, now I'm going to come in and start creating my little lines through the pumpkin. So I'm going to start on one end, just create a very thin line with my black, and then I'm going to do the same on the opposite side, and then I'll go in through the middle and really just start making those lines. Now it's just about adding those little touches. Now I'm going to make the stem coming out of the pumpkin. So I'm pretty much just starting with that little slanted line, and then I'm just going to bring it all in towards the center of my pumpkin and then fill it in. So make your outline first and then just pretty much fill it in. Next, for this pumpkin, I'm going to do just like a little swirl, and I'm just going to start with that little liner and just start with one line, go around and just connect it all together. Also going to finish this nail by adding just some small dots and also some of those little twinkles. And lastly, for my glitter nails, I already went and top coated these nails, and now I'm going to come in with some spider gel, and I'm just going to wrap that around those tips. This spider gel, I believe, is D&D, and I got it just from my local nail supply store, and I'm just using a dotting tool, picking up some of that, and I'm trying not to pick up so much, but it was just doing like those thin little strips. So I went in and kind of did like a heavier blob and then just started wrapping that around. Now also, one thing I did when I finished doing this, the spider gel, I flipped her nail around and I cleaned out the underneath pretty much of that nail. I didn't want that spider gel to be underneath. So that was pretty much it for this set, y'all. This one was a really simple but cute beginning of Halloween set. So we did this like at the beginning of October. She has already had another Halloween set this month, but this was just to get her going, okay? So thank you guys so much for joining me on this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye.